Hey everybody. Today I'm going to talk about something that happened to me. So this has nothing to do with Vocaloid, but this happened to me on Friday, August 20th, 2021. I suffered sudden cardiac arrest, but I survived. I'm here to tell my tale. So here's my story about how I survived sudden cardiac arrest. Now, I generally visit my parents once a week to have dinner and also help out with yard work or whatever if anything needs to be done. So I was mowing their lawn on this Friday, like I've done many, many times before. It wasn't a hot day. It was about 81, 82 degrees. And while I was mowing the lawn, I collapsed. Sudden cardiac arrest, just dropped. What's interesting is that the neighbor across the street from my parents' home, they have a Nest security camera, and they captured the whole thing. And they were very kind enough to share the link to this video so I got to see it, because I have absolutely no recollection of what happened that day. I don't remember getting up. I don't remember driving down to my parents' home. I don't remember pulling out the lawnmower and filling it up with gas. Nothing. That whole day is completely wiped from my memory. So it was very helpful for me to watch this, because without seeing it, it feels like it didn't even really happen. Because I feel perfectly fine today. Right now, I feel as if nothing happened. So it was good to see what actually happened that day. Now, I was incredibly lucky. I don't know what you want to call it, just good luck, good fortune, providence, the hand of God, I don't know. But a few things worked in my favor. One, I was actually mowing the outside strip of my parents' yard next to the street. If I had been mowing the lawn inside, there's a good chance that I would be dead today because nobody would have seen me collapse. But incredibly enough, the moment I collapsed, there was a nurse, of all people, a nurse, who was taking her dog to the vet. She was about a block away, and she was making a left turn when she saw me collapse. And it looked funny to her. Because I just dropped, just fell over backwards. So she turns her car around, pulls back out, drives up to my parents' home and turns into the street and gets out of her car. And she checks me out because, I might have just fainted from the heat or something. But as it turns out, I was non-responsive. I wasn't breathing. I didn't have a pulse. So she immediately began performing CPR. Now, this is just in 1 minute. In 1 minute, this happens, right? I was reading the stats about sudden cardiac arrest. Most people, 9 out of 10 people who suffer cardiac arrest outside of a hospital setting, they die. And those who survive, many of them have brain damage because of the lack of oxygen. But I started getting CPR after only about a minute. That is just unbelievably good fortune. At about the same time she starts doing CPR, some other guy stops. He gets out of his car, and I see this on the video. He starts walking towards me. It looks like he just makes a beeline back to his car. I'm guessing he went to get his phone, and he was the one who called 911. About 5 minutes or so, I guess, passes by, and EMS finally comes. Well, I say finally, like it took a long time. It was very quick. They come and I guess they take over the CPR and then they shock my heart back into rhythm. I don't know how many times they shocked me. Maybe it was just once, I don't know. But I was watching the video and it seemed like something else was happening. It took a while. It took several minutes before they finally load me up. I guess maybe they had to stabilize me, I don't know. But they finally load me up onto the stretcher and into the ambulance, and they take me to Anne Arundel Medical Center. Anne Arundel Medical Center, I have nothing but good words to say about them. All the staff, the doctors and nurses, the nurse techs, medical technicians, all top-notch. Fantastic experience. I just wish I could remember more of it because that Friday I remember nothing. That Saturday I don't really remember anything at all. Sunday I have a vague memory of being in the ICU, and I have a vague memory of talking to one of the nurses there, Amanda, I think her name was. And then I kind of have a vague memory of being transferred to the heart and vascular unit. The day after that, they did a cardiac cath. Because I do have a history of heart disease, I had a heart attack at age 45. My right coronary artery is completely occluded. This past spring, this March, I had 2 stents put into my left coronary artery. Despite this history of heart disease, I actually feel pretty good. I don't even notice that I have heart disease. And I'm surprised that I suffered cardiac arrest. I don't have a history of VFib or anything like that, but it happened. And I don't know if it was because I was sweating a lot, my electrolytes was out of whack. I don't know, maybe. They also tell me that when you have a previous heart attack, the scarring of the heart can disrupt the electrical current of the heart. So I don't know. But on the 4th day, they did do a heart cath and checked out, made sure my stents were wide open, and they were doing its job. On the 5th day, the fog begins to lift from my brain. I remember being wheeled into the procedure room and talking to somebody and signing forms. And from there, they implanted an ICD. So now I have my own personal defibrillator right below my left collarbone. I hope I never experience the sensation of this thing going off. I never want to have this thing kick off. I never want my heart to ever go into VFib again. I hope I die of old age without ever having this ICD do anything. But it's nice to know I have this little insurance policy in me. The other thing that I do remember about the whole hospital experience, I remember the food and the socks they give you. The food actually wasn't bad. I know people love to complain about hospital food and airplane food, but I enjoyed it. Maybe it's because I just enjoy free food. I only remember 3 meals. The first meal was a baked chicken breast. I have to admit, it was overdone. It was pretty dry, but I enjoyed it anyway. I especially enjoyed the Jell-O. There's something about hospital Jell-O. Makes it a real treat to eat. The next morning, I remember breakfast. An omelet and sausage. And they were overcooked too. The eggs were they were pretty rubbery, but I still enjoyed it. Again, free food. I can't complain. The last dinner meal I had was meatloaf, roasted sweet potatoes, and asparagus tips. And that was actually not bad. That was not bad. Not a bad meal at all. Here's my one complaint, and I actually filled this out in the survey they gave. But they bring the food to you in a tray, and they have this a sheet of paper printed out of your meal, right? I was looking at this meal while I was eating, looking at this sheet of paper as I was eating, and I noticed it also said glass of iced tea, a whole wheat roll, and a fruit cocktail. I did not get those items, so I wonder what happened. I don't know. Aren't you supposed to get all the items listed on that sheet of paper? Or am I not reading it right? Anyway, it's not a big deal. I mean, I don't need... Because they actually give you a lot of food in the hospital, which always surprises me, because I thought, I don't know, should people be eating that much in the hospital? But anyway, I had a great experience with Anne Arundel Medical Center. I'm glad I live in a state, Maryland, that where we have a governor, Governor Hogan. I tip my hat off to him. I think he's done a very good job of guiding the state through the COVID crisis. We don't have our ICUs or have plenty of beds. I'm grateful that I was able to, I got in there and there's no issue with that. And I feel pretty lucky. I'm grateful to all the health professionals at Anne Arundel Medical Center, especially the nurse who saved my life, who actually works at Anne Arundel Medical Center. So that's my story. I can't really say, if I have to be honest, I can't really say that I've experienced some kind of epiphany. I've always heard about these people who have these near-death experiences and they change their life. I don't feel that. I mean, I'm glad I'm alive. I feel grateful, but I don't know. I don't feel like I need to have to do anything. I'm just gonna... I appreciate the second chance. All this time extra is bonus years. I should be dead. But I don't know. Maybe it just takes some time for it to sink in before I decide that I feel like I'm compelled to do something. Anyway, that's my story.